Hi everyone, this video is going to be a swatch and review of Wet n Wild's collaboration collection with Alice in Wonderland. Please check the description box below for where you can find it. I always link the most affordable place where you can find these products in the description box. Currently, it seems like you can purchase the items in the collection through places like Target, Ulta, and Amazon. And I'll also probably be testing at least a few of the products out in application on my own face to give you a review of them. So if you want to see what these swatch like and what my thoughts are on the formula, stay tuned. Thank you so much for being a subscriber to this channel. And you can also go and follow on Instagram. If you didn't see the latest video, that is for Rare Beauty's newest eyeshadow sticks. So I'll link that in the upper right-hand corner for you. Please go check that out. So as you can see, Alice in Wonderland themed, all the packaging is basically pink plastic packaging. This isn't literally everything in the collection, but it's pretty much everything when it comes to the color makeup products. So let's go ahead, break it down by each category and get to swatching. So there are 3 powder face products. There's a bronzer, highlighter palette, and blush palette. They each cost $9.99. Again, that might change just a little bit depending on where you purchase these from. And you get a lot of product in each of them. It's 10 grams or 0.35 ounces in each. Here's the highlighting palette called Curiouser and Curiouser. So for each of these, I'm going to use an angled powder brush. This one's from e.l.f. I'm going to combine all of the shades. Obviously, if you wanted to target one shade over another, you could do that. And my swatches are going to be over a layer of translucent powder because that is how I would do it in real life. Wow, this comes off as a pretty shimmery metallic pink shade, but I feel like it flashes with a hint of silvery purple. I will say I feel like as I'm trying to blend this in the skin, the flakes are just kind of falling off. You can see on the edge here, it's more metallic, but in the middle, those flakes are falling off the skin. I'm gonna go in with more product, try to do a second layer here. It does build up nicely. Don't seem to be having as much of a problem now, maybe more of like a dabbing, swirling motion. There is a little bit of raising in the middle still though. Yeah, it still swipes off in the center there. And this is the blush palette called Talk to the Flowers. All right, going in with the blush next. See, the shimmer on this is much more refined and pearlized. Comes off as a kind of deep rosy peach, but again, not applying the most smoothly or evenly. So I'm gonna, again, apply a second layer. I mean, honestly, this could be a highlighter itself with a much more soft focus finish, because the description for the highlight is that it's really refined, which it's not. And it's not a soft focus natural glow. This one fits that description much better. This is really a beautiful color once you get it built up to the right concentration. Here's the bronzer palette. This is called Tea Anyone. So we'll see on this one. Yeah, definitely more soft focused. This one has really refined pearlized shimmer, but it's not as numerous as in the blush. Applying a second layer here. Alright, so those are the 3 face powder products swatched. Very sparkly highlighter. I wouldn't say it's natural at all. somewhat shimmery blush, and a slightly shimmery bronzer. You can do finger swatches of each of these for you also. Obviously this is a very concentrated look at the colors. Sometimes it helps people figure out what the shade might look like on their skin. So there's that up close. The eyeshadow palette is called the Lost in Wonderland Eye and Face Palette. It's $17.99 and you get 15 total shades. The description says that it has hyper-pigmented shades and a mix of buttery soft mattes, sparkling shimmers, gleaming satins, and self-adhering multi-dimensional glitters. Long-lasting wear, silky smooth glide, and seamless blending. So a lot of claims for a palette that's at this price point, so hopefully those claims hold up. Now they call it a eye and face palette because technically not all the shades are eye safe. Here's a look up close at the shades. You can tell these really chunky glittery ones, there's a lot of texture on there already, and then looks like the matte shades are all embossed with some sort of design that's Alice in Wonderland themed or related. The palette has 19 grams total, or 0.67 ounces, and there are names on the back of the palette. And also it has a guide here for which ones are not lip or eye safe, which is very convenient, so you don't have to necessarily go to the website. So some of the shades like this one, this one, this one, it might be hard to tell on camera, but in person you can kind of tell that you should be applying them with your finger as opposed to an eyeshadow brush, but for the rest I will use an eyeshadow brush for application. And then I have put a layer of eyeshadow primer and a really light dusting of translucent powder. So I'm Late is a matte white. Not the most opaque, but decent color. Second shade I'm going to apply with my finger. It's very, I wouldn't say crumbly, but it moves under just the slightest pressure. This shade is called Drink Me. It's a very metallic, opalescent, glittery shade. Actually applies really nicely. I was a little bit worried, but smooths down beautifully. It has a pretty strong blue flash to it. Cheshire is the next shade. It's a rosy pink. I think this is a satin color, but again, not the best opacity on this. Marian Birthday is the next shade. It's very gritty in texture. Definitely wouldn't put this on my eyes. It's larger copper glitter with flashes of purple. Marianne is a metallic purple with lighter purple shimmer. Dipped in the pan again, trying to add a little more product. Not All There, a deeper pink shade, almost like a fuchsia pink. This I think is another satin shade. This next shade is called Delightful Child. It's a bright medium blue. Again, not the most opaque, but nice color. Especially for a palette that's 15 shades and less than $18. This is a satin shade. Best Butter is a metallic yellow base gold. This one has the best opacity so far of all the shades. Always Curious is another one of those gritty glitter shades. And in the pan it looks peachy. There are peachy and gold copper shimmers in here, or I should say glitter particles in there. Try to apply a little more at the end, but overall there's not really any underlying color. Same with the other glitter shade. Next is Tea Anyone. This is a brown with silver and it looks like purple glitter in the shade. Next is Hungry Walrus. This is like a soft camel color. The satin formula. Bonkers. This is kind of a muted gold olive shade, metallic finish. Again, very nice formula and color there. Dinah. This is a kind of bronzy, silvery bronze on the camera. Yeah, and then the skin too. It's kind of like a peachy bronze shade. It's a peachy copper shade. It's probably a better description. In Command. It's a very reddish copper metallic shade. Yeah, all the metallics have the best opacity and pigmentation to them. And the last shade is Rabbit Hole. This is like a super deep gray. It's not quite a black. So it's a matte gray and then it has bluish glitter particles dispersed into it. Okay, so there are your 15 total shades. I'm most impressed by the metallics. That first shade is not only not opaque, but the color has faded already. The shimmering shades are really beautiful, but the matte and satin shades are, you know, they're, I think, as expected. You're just not gonna get the same punch and color payoff as with a more expensive formulation, but for the price, it's a good showing. I was most curious about these. These are the liquid lip and cheek colors, 2 shades. They are $7.99 each. And the brand says these are 2-in-1 liquid lip and cheek products. The weightless creamy liquid formula glides on effortlessly to add a natural looking flush of color to your lips and cheeks. You can apply it with a sponge, brush, or just your fingers. So here's what the packaging looks like. You get 6.5 milliliters or 0.22 fluid ounces. And they have these giant doe-footed applicators. So the shades are this way and that way, which I think is clever. Okay, this way is more of a really deep apricot peach shade. And that way is more of a classic carnation pink. So I guess if you were applying them as lipsticks, that's kind of the color you would get, the glossy finish. And then I want to blend them out so that if you put them on the cheek, interesting, they do have a nice feeling formula that blends out over the skin. I was a little bit skeptical. Although this makes me think that they probably aren't very long wearing on the lips because they do move around pretty easily. But yeah, wow, these are really pretty. Okay, so that's more of the color you get once they're blended out. Here is the Her Royal Craziness 2-piece multi-stick set. It is $9.99. It has 2 makeup sticks with velvety cream to powder formulas that are supposed to apply seamlessly to eyes, cheeks, and lips. Okay, so those are the 2 shades that you get in the package. So this shade is Heads Will Roll. This is a glittery gold shade. And this shade is Silence, which is actually like a pinky red with a cream finish. So obviously this seems like this would be more appropriate for the lips. First shade for the eyes. That's what they look like up close. The collection also has 2 liquid eyeliners that are $7.99 each. They have a brush tip for no skip precise application with a semi-sheer formula packed with super fine glitter. It's very interesting. Let's take a look. So you've got super skinny plastic tubes They seem to shake. Very fine tip. They are brushes. And the shades are Out of Time. Oh, interesting. It is a bunch of glitter. I did not know this. This is like a silvery lilac shade. And Silly Nonsense. It's a silvery white. Very pretty. And there's actually two liquid eyeshadows. I just have one here to show you. They're $7.99 each. They say infused with multi-dimensional pearl for flashy shimmer. Each pigment is richly pigmented with high color payoff and supposed to have an effortlessly soft glide application. So the shade that we have here is Daydreaming, which is a metallic medium pink shade. Very opaque color on that. A nice finely or refined metallic shimmer, I should say. There are 3 lip glosses in the collection. They are $7.99 each. Looks like we have 2 cream shades and a metallic shade. High Shine with a mirror-like finish. Here's the shade Not a Weed. We Sing 2. And Wildflower. Not a Weed is a translucent orange with gold metallic shimmer in there. We Sing 2 is a very pale milky pink. Wildflower is a deeper peachy pink. And these have a strong fragrance. Just swatching them, I can smell them. And last up, we have 2 lipsticks. Again, $7.99 each. They say it's silky, highly pigmented, glides onto the lips with ease. And here are your 2 shades. That darker shade is sweating in the bullet there. So this shade is Painted Rose. This is an orangey coral with a cream formulation. And this is Curtsy, which is a deep reddish brown. So like a super deep, not quite an eggplant. There's not that much purple in there. It's more brown. Shades up close with a cream sheen finish. So overall, I think this is a fun collection. There are some products that intrigue me more. I think I'm just least excited about things like the lipsticks, that duo with the 2 sticks that you can use as lips or eyeshadow, the lip gloss. Those are probably the ones that I think are least exciting. I think I'm a little bit disappointed by the eyeshadow palette. I don't think it's as, I don't know what the word is, useful as it appears to be, but I'm a little conflicted because it is so affordable at just $18 with so many shades that even if you used only half the palette, like that's still definitely worth your money in that sense. And I have no gripes about the metallic shades for sure. But I don't know, those chunky glittery shades, I think the use is very limited because you really shouldn't be putting those on your eyes. The glitter particles are so large, so that, and then putting them on their cheeks, I just think the occasions in which you do that is so limited. So a little bit conflicted on that one. The face powder palettes also, I feel a little bit conflicted by that. Highlighter I was hoping would be a little bit more refined. But again, overall, these products they're so affordable that when you take that into account, practically speaking, once you use them, for the most part, it's hard to tell the difference between something that is 3 times the amount of money and these products. Not all the time, but you know, a lot of the time. I'm most intrigued by the liquid shimmering eyeliners. I didn't think they were going to be glittery, and so I think that's pretty unique in terms of, even in the general makeup world, having a shimmery glittery liquid eyeliner is pretty rare. And the colors on those were beautiful. So those are overall my thoughts. Please let me know if you have any comments or thoughts or questions in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and that it's helpful to you in making a decision about what you might want to purchase. As always, thank you for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next video.